Far from the world's crowded cities, an island rises from one of the most consequential stretches of ocean on Earth. It looks like another planet, but the waters surrounding it carry the machinery of our modern world. This is Socotra, a remote Yemeni archipelago positioned between the Arabian Sea and the Gulf of Aden. To the northwest lies one of the world's most sensitive maritime corridors. To the south and east lies the vast Indian Ocean. Here, isolation created a biological sanctuary unlike almost anywhere else. Yet geography placed that sanctuary beside a route connecting Asia, Africa, the Mediterranean and Europe. Socotra is both removed from the world and deeply connected to it. Its trees appear to belong in science fiction. Its mountains preserve evidence of an ancient world. Its people maintain traditions shaped by wind, sea and isolation. And beyond its shores, global trade passes through increasingly uncertain waters. Socotra is not a young volcanic island. It is a fragment of continental crust, separated from surrounding land by immense geological forces. Its rocks carry a history far older than the civilizations that would later sail past it. At the center of the main island, the Hajir Mountains rise abruptly toward the clouds. Seasonal rain gathers on the high ground before flowing into wadis, pools, caves and valleys carved through stone. Water, wind and time have created deep canyons and vast cave systems. Some chambers extend far beneath the surface, preserving minerals, sediments and traces of the island's changing climate. Above ground, every ridge creates a different habitat. Socotra's climate is ruled by the monsoon. For part of the year, fierce winds strike the island, roughening the sea and limiting access. These seasonal forces helped isolate Socotra, allowing life here to follow its own evolutionary path. The most famous result of that isolation stands on Socotra's high plateaus. The dragon's blood tree rises from the rock like an enormous natural umbrella. Its branches spread outward and upward, forming a dense canopy designed to capture moisture from the air. When the tree is cut, it produces a deep red resin. For centuries, this substance was traded as a pigment, varnish, incense ingredient, and traditional remedy. Its color inspired stories of wounded dragons and gave the tree its unforgettable name. But the forest is not invincible. Many surviving trees are old, while young trees struggle to replace them. Grazing animals consume vulnerable seedlings, and stronger cyclones can destroy in hours what took centuries to grow. Local families and conservationists are protecting young trees inside fenced nurseries. Their work may determine whether future generations inherit living forests or only stories about the strange trees that once covered these plateaus. The dragon's blood tree is only one member of an extraordinary community. Bottle-shaped desert roses store water inside swollen trunks. Frankincense trees grow from almost vertical cliffs. Other plants have forms so unusual that the landscape can appear invented rather than evolved. More than 1/3 of Socotra's plant species occur naturally nowhere else. The isolation is even more pronounced among some reptiles and land snails. Its surrounding waters also support coral communities, fish, turtles, seabirds, and marine mammals. On Socotra's eastern coast, mountains of white sand rise beside dark cliffs. At Arha, powerful seasonal winds carry sand inland and pile it against the mountains. Fresh water emerges nearby, creating an improbable meeting of desert, mountain and sea. Farther west, Detwa Lagoon spreads across the coast in layers of turquoise and silver. Its tidal flats provide feeding grounds for birds and marine life, while the surrounding cliffs shelter one of the island's most recognizables of this water, for generations. Fishing remains essential, and small boats still leave shore according to wind, current and season. On Socotra, the ocean is not simply scenery. It is transport, food, memory and survival. Daily life depends on knowledge passed between generations. Where to find water, when the sea is safe, which plants have value, how to travel across terrain where paved roads arrived only recently. Isolation preserved not only species, but also a distinct way of understanding the island. Socotra may appear isolated, but sailors have known it for centuries. Vessels moving between Africa, Arabia, India and the Mediterranean encountered these islands while carrying incense, spices, textiles, metals and stories across the ocean. The monsoon that made Socotra difficult to reach also powered ancient trade. Sailors learned to use seasonal winds as an engine, crossing enormous distances long before mechanical propulsion or satellite navigation. The island's people developed their own language, Socotri, within the modern South Arabian language family. For generations, it was preserved mainly through speech, poetry, songs, proverbs and storytelling rather than a widely used written tradition. Language contains knowledge that maps cannot show. Names for winds, plants, animals, seasons and landscapes reveal how deeply Socotran identity is connected to place. Protecting the island therefore means protecting both nature and living culture. Beyond Socotra's quiet beaches lies an entirely different world. The Gulf of Aden forms the maritime approach to Bab el-Mandeb, the narrow gateway leading into the Red Sea and onward toward the Suez Canal. This route allows ships traveling between Asia and Europe to avoid the much longer journey around the southern tip of Africa. Container vessels carry electronics, clothing, machinery, food and industrial components. Tankers transport fuel needed by cities and economies far beyond this region. When ships can pass safely, the route compresses continents. When passage becomes dangerous, vessels may divert thousands of additional kilometers around Africa. That means more fuel, longer delivery times, higher operating costs and additional pressure on supply chains. For crews crossing these waters, geography is only one concern. They must also consider severe weather, mechanical failure, regional instability, piracy and the possibility of attacks far from any safe harbour. A disruption here does not remain here. Its effects can move through ports, warehouses, factories, fuel markets and household budgets. A distant event at sea can eventually influence the price and availability of ordinary goods thousands of kilometres away. This is Socotra's great geographical contradiction. The island feels like one of the most remote places on Earth. Yet it sits beside a maritime system connecting some of the planet's largest economies. Its isolation exists beside constant movement. Socotra's natural isolation can no longer protect it from every threat. Powerful cyclones have damaged forests and settlements. Changing climate patterns may intensify pressure on species already limited to small habitats. Development and tourism create another delicate balance. Visitors can provide income and support conservation. But unmanaged travel, waste, new roads and construction can damage the very landscapes people come to experience. The most sustainable approach places Socotran communities at the centre. Local guides understand which routes are safe, which habitats are sensitive, and how tourism income can reach families rather than pass around them. Protecting Socotra requires more than drawing boundaries on a map. It requires science, local stewardship, responsible tourism, habitat restoration and long-term support for the people who live among these natural treasures. A dragon's blood tree grows slowly. Its form is the result of patience, measured not in seasons, but in generations. Every mature tree standing on these plateaus is a living connection between Socotra's ancient past and its uncertain future. The young trees protected today may not form great canopies for decades. Those who plant them may never see the forests they are trying to restore. Conservation here is an act of faith in a future belonging to someone else. As evening reaches Socotra, fishing boats return home, while enormous commercial ships continue beyond the horizon. One journey supports a family, another connects continents. Both depend on the same unpredictable sea. Socotra is not valuable because it looks like another planet. It is valuable because it reveals what this planet can create when life is given isolation, time, and the freedom to adapt. But isolation is no longer enough to guarantee survival. Beside a global maritime highway, an ancient island waits beneath the stars. Remote, connected, resilient and fragile. This is Socotra, the alien paradise at the crossroads of our world.